Hello, welcome to Mama Sue's Kitchen. I'm going to make one of my recipes that I have shared with you a good bit. Well, it's been probably a year or so ago, but I've never made it in my air fryer. So the first thing that I'm going to do is my air fryer has this thing that normally I just leave it sitting down in there, but it has the capability of setting it on the little legs so it won't be right on the bottom. And that's what I'm going to do because I'm going to make my meatloaf balls. And the grease that will drain out will be underneath, and that's what I like. But I'm going to preheat this on 400 degrees for 6 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and start that. Okay, while that's preheating, I'm going to mix my meatloaf up. Now, in my Volume 1 cookbook, this is one of this and the crock pot cube steak, I think, are the favorites of everyone. But it's called Meatloaf Balls. But y'all, you can make this in a loaf, because somebody said, I need your meatloaf recipe, not the balls. It's the same. You can do it either way. It's just my kids, my grandkids like the balls better, and so does Harold. I make them about golf ball size. I have one egg right here. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of beat it up because got to mix all this in. But I have 1 pound of ground beef. And y'all, we, a couple of months ago, we got a fourth of a beef from a local cattle farmer. And it is so good. It's so nice to just have your ground beef in your freezer, especially with the cost of it. But to that, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. The 1 egg. A half a cup of instant oats. A half a cup of chopped onion, one cup of grated cheese, and 3/4 cup of milk. Y'all, you may think, what is she doing? I'm going to use my hands. They're clean. And it's so much easier to mix this. And I've got to use my hands to make the balls anyway. I have been making my meatloaf by this recipe for a long time. And I think I've told you that I used to be the outreach and mission director at my church. But probably about 5 years ago, I realized that I was too old to do all the work that needed to be done, because we have a lot of outreaches at our church, and we really do support a lot of missionaries, and we raise money for them. So I resigned, and now I help my husband as church treasurer and bookkeeper. But anyway, all right, you see how that's just all mixed together. But the reason I told you that was one of our fundraisers for mission trips and missions was we would have Wednesday night meals at church. And I headed that up, and this was one of the rotations, the meatloaf balls. Y'all, everybody loved it. Now, can you imagine making enough meatloaf balls? We would have anywhere from 75 to 100 people eating every week. But they loved it. Let me wash my hands real quick. Okay. While that, I still like 2 minutes for that to be preheated. But I'm gonna go ahead and mix the topping. And the topping is 2/3 cup of ketchup. Let me get my little spatula to get this out. A tablespoon and a half of mustard, and I never measure that. That looks about right. And 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar. And we're just gonna mix this together, and this will be the topping. You can, of course, you can double this, or if you were fixing it for your church, you would have to. I remember we bought the huge rolls of ground beef. We would do like 2 of those. But now I'm gonna go ahead and start rolling these out, and when that gets ready, Harold will take it out for me and I can put them in. But I just try to make mine about the size of a golf ball. Okay. I started to just make 2 small loaves, but we prefer the balls. And the only thing I can tell you is Harold says they have more of the, he calls it crust, but meatloaf doesn't have crust, but you know what I mean.
You want that out?
Mm-hmm, yeah. I want it right here. Okay. Push it up just a little bit, all right? Oh, it's sizzling. You can tell it has preheated like it's supposed to. I think I'll get them all in here. But y'all, these meatballs have the best flavor, and they're not tough. I don't know, Harold, is that what you would say? The cheese, I think.
They don't have all that green stuff in them.
Harold doesn't like bell pepper in his, and I do, so that's why he's talking about doesn't have that green stuff. But if you wanted to put it in here, it'd be okay, because a lot of people like it. Like I said, I've never cooked these in the air fryer, but I think I'm gonna cook them for 12 minutes. If it's different, I'll let you know when they come out. Do you want to start, get the spoon and just start putting, I hate to waste your time.
Can I do it again?
I guess you can. I mean, it's not gonna hurt. I don't know if they'll come out as easily. That's why I try to have everything ready. But I wanted you to see how you preheat your air fryer. And we used to not really, we didn't use our air fryer much, did we? And I fried Harold some potatoes in it. And that's all it took. He loves fried potatoes. And it's not the cleanup like in a skillet. Now, I still fry some in the skillet sometimes. I think I'm going to have to make one making and then do some more, but that's okay. This is easy to clean up. Somebody said, doesn't it make a mess and clean up? I don't know. It's almost like mine is a non-stick. All right, I'm gonna wash my hands one more time.
Should I put this extra on there or?
Save it for the other. Okay. Now, I preheated it to 400, but the recipe for the air fryer, I'm just gonna spread it just a little bit. He did a good job, but I want it spread out. He helps me, and I'm not complaining. The recipe that I looked said to preheat to 400, and then you're gonna cook them on 380. So I'm gonna set my temperature to 380 for 12 minutes, and we're gonna see. And when they come out, I'll be back. The meatloaf's cooked 12 minutes, and the recipe that I saw for the air fryer said to let them sit for about 3 minutes before you serve. And they said the way you could tell if they were ready, of course they look ready, but to take a meat thermometer, and you've seen me use this for chicken. If you want to know where I got it, go to my website, MamaSue'sSouthernKitchen.com, and look under favorite things, and it's there. But I do use this a lot. It said that these needed to be 165 degrees in the middle. Well, you can see they're 180, 185. So I think they're well done, don't you? But again, these are in volume 1, page 35, Meatloaf Balls. But I hope you know that you can make this into a meatloaf. And but if you haven't tried the Meatloaf Balls, I wish you would, because they're so good. Kids seem to like them too. But anyway, I'm just going to put 3 on there so you can see. But you know, I have some left. That pound made 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 that would go in my air fryer at the same time. And probably 5 more. So that's how much a pound makes. But anyway, I've made me some y'all sweet tea. I call it sweet tea because I put sugar in it. I know that's confusing to many of you, especially those of you from the north, because we in the south make our tea sweet by adding sugar or artificial sweeteners if you need to. But their tea comes in the tea bags, and the directions are on the back of it. And I want to stress to go by those directions, because this tea is unlike any I've ever had, and for 60 years at least, no, about 68 years, we were Lipton tea. But now we're y'all brands. And if you go there to their website, y'allsweettea.com, and anything you order, when you're checking out, in the code, just put Sue, capital S, capital U, capital E, and you'll get 10% off. Y'all, have faith. Have faith that God's in control. Everything's a mess, it looks like. But look to Him. Don't look to the things that's happening in the world. And be salt and light wherever you go. And we're going to have meatloaf balls and potato salad for supper. See you soon.